Hi YouTube, good afternoon. Okay, I'm gonna record a long version and then I'll edit out and put out a short version for anyone that wants to see the full time frame of me cooking the last meal, which is the macaroni shepherd's pie. Is what we're doing. That's what I'm going to do today. I'll do a short version that I'll put out there, and then I'll just put a link in the description bar. If you want to watch the full version, you can watch the full version. It'll be up to you. So I've kind of gathered all my little things here, so I'm going to flip the camera around so that you guys can kind of see what I'm doing, because we're going to start the process. All right, I'll be back in just a second. All right, we already have the water going. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start the prep work. These carrots are definitely flimsy. This one doesn't feel all that great. But, you know, hey, we're gonna cook it. It'll be fine. I have the water on the stove getting ready to boil. And again, this has pictures if you feel like you need pictures. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to put it in a bowl. Because I got to cut up scallions. This recipe is asking us to keep the whites and the greens separate. Not that these greens look all that good, because they don't. They look a little on the rough side, peoples, but we'll salvage what we can. Is probably for garnish, so that's all we're going to use. Alright, so we've done that. We've salted the water, it's on to boil. We've done the scallions, we've trimmed the carrots, we've cut the carrots. They want us to chop all the cheese and peel the garlic. Okay, look, I cheat. When I buy garlic, I do it all at once, and I do it in my food processor, and I put a little bit of olive oil in there, so you're not going to see me chop garlic, because I cheat. We will do the cheese, though. And we're going to do that on a different board. And what did it say? Did it say chop the cheese? Finally chop all cheese. Okay, so it doesn't want me to grate it. It's telling me to chop it, so that's what we're going to do. See if this peels or not. This is Fontina cheese. If you've never had Fontina cheese, you should try it because it's delicious. Not gonna lie, it's good stuff. It's one of my favorite cheeses to cook with. I do a chicken, fried chicken that you finish in the oven that's topped with
Silence! I kill you!
Sorry.
Silence! I kill you!
I'm getting a message. That's probably a kitten call. Sorry about that. But I use Fontina cheese for the cheese that goes over, and it's really good. So Fontina cheese is yummy. If you've never tried it, do it. It's not a super strong cheese, but it has this, I don't know, it's got a flavor that you kind of can't really describe because nothing else really tastes like it. So chop the other one. I think I hear water. We're going to cook the carrots before we cook the meat. That's what it says to do, so that's what we're going to do. Yeah, okay. I think that's all my chopping. Add the pasta to the water, blah, 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 blah. We're going to cook it till it's done, yada, yada, yada. It's almost there, so we'll go ahead and open up the bag. I think all my chopping is done. Yeah, it is. Oh, I got to get the beef bouillon thing. I got to find that little booger. Let me go find that real quick. All right, we're going to bring it back up as soon as the prince gets out of the way. All right, we're going to turn the camera around because we're going to face it the other way. All right. Pasta water is boiling. We're going to go over here. Let me see how well I can set my camera up to maybe just get, whoops, let's not do that. We want that to be tight. Get it up here. And then we will go, nope, other way. There we go. Okay, so water's boiling. Don't do that. Put the pasta in. Okay. Oy. All right. We're going to cook that for 8 to 9 minutes. We're going to reserve a third of the cup of the pasta water and reserve it in the saucepan. So we're going to put oil, put this in the pan. We're going to add the carrots and 2 tablespoons of water, and we're going to cook until the carrots are tender. So make sure we're going this way. There we go. That way you guys can see me. All right. So we're going to turn this on about medium. We shouldn't need much oil. Here we go. I'm going to say the reserve pasta water is because we're going to make a bechamel, which for anyone out there that doesn't know what a bechamel is, it's a white sauce that's basically made with cheese. I said basically, sorry. But that's really what it is. It's a white sauce. You do it with equal parts of butter and flour is generally how it's done. And then you use cheese and milk and it turns into this nice little cheesy sauce. But that's a bechamel. So we're going to let that heat up just a little bit. We'll get that going. We'll get my 2 tablespoons of water. And we'll put that here because we're going to need it. When we get that far, cover and cook until they're done. Okay, well. Once that's done cooking, we'll add the beef and the garlic and the white parts of the scallions, and then we'll cook all that together. Okay, so the pasta water is for the beef broth. There's the bouillon. There's this liquid. Here's what it looks like. And we're going to use a third of a cup of this pasta water right here. And that's how we're going to use that. Pasta water has starch in it, so it kind of thickens up. That's why they tell you to do that. Kind of like when you make spaghetti, they tell you to put a little bit of the pasta water in the spaghetti sauce because it actually makes it get thicker, believe it or not. we're going to turn that up a little bit because those are cast iron. So we're going to get that rolling. Here's our carrots. We'll put our beef over here as well. Our water. Bring that over there. We'll bring this over here. I'm going to go ahead and open this beef over the sink. Okay. So now we're open. Oh, it wants me to remove the cooked carrots, so I guess we'll do that. All right. We'll let them start doing their little thing. I don't know if I'm going to add the water or not. We'll see. So we will remove the carrots when they're done. Then we'll put the meat and all that lovely, lovely stuff. I like my pasta a little past al dente. Cook yours however you like. If you like yours mushy, eat it mushy. If you like yours super al dente, knock yourself out. I like mine just a little past al dente. You do you. Cast iron takes a second to get it heated up, but once it's heated up, you can turn it down because it retains the heat quite well. This one's moving a little bit slower than some of the other ones, so you still want to have all your stuff together because you don't want to be trying to watch pots and cook at the same time. That's generally when disaster decides it wants to happen. This is pretty much going to stay in this frying pan. I think they want us to put it in the broiler to probably kind of melt the cheese on top, which we'll do. I have to empty out my oven. We're almost there. Obviously, you want to try to make this in a dish. If you're going to broil it, you don't necessarily have to. I would say do it. It adds an extra, layer of flavor into it. But make sure if you're going to do that, whatever you're preparing this in, being that, mine's cast iron, can also go in your oven. You don't want to have to, try not to dirty up any more dishes than you have to. This is going to be the pot to boil that in. I'm going to make the sauce in that as well when I'm done, and then making it in that. So you don't want to have to you know, do all that, cook all that, and then transfer something else into a baking dish. Is try to make sure whatever you're doing it is something that can go in the oven, okay? It will make your life easier. Unless you have someone else doing your dishes, and then by all means, mess up everything you would like. All right, I'm putting a little caramelization on my carrots because, again, I'm going to do me. That's kind of what I like. If you don't like that, then don't do it. That's the fun thing about cooking. There kind of really aren't any mistakes. It just depends on what you like, right? Okay, I'm going to officially turn this down a little bit because my pan is hot. I'm going to use the same bowl I had the carrots in, and that's what I'm going to stick these in. Woo. All right, so it's telling me to put the beef in, so we're going to put the beef in. This is 10 ounces of ground beef, which is exactly what the other one was. It was 10 ounces, not a half a pound. I'm not going to break it up a whole lot right now because I want to get some brownness on it. You want to know why you want brownness on it?
Cause brown food tastes good.
That's why. We are going to do a traditional bechamel. We are going to do 1 part oil, which is butter. It'll be a tablespoon of butter to a tablespoon of flour. All right, I'm going to say our pasta is probably done, so we're going to remove that. I'm going to turn this down. I'm going to reserve 1/3 of a cup. That'll work. Now, if you're good enough that you can do 2 things at once, by all means, do 2 things at once. That pan is still really hot, so I'm going to get my tablespoon of butter. And I'm going to let that melt. I've turned that eye off, but that is still very hot. So we're just going to let that melt and do its thing. I don't really have to worry about it burning because the eye is off. This is pretty lean beef. I wouldn't worry about draining it too awful much. Again, you can, you do you. But it's pretty lean. I'm probably not going to drain it. Yeah, we're doing good there. All right. So we are going to have our 1/3 cup of pasta water. All right, which is right here. We are going to put our beef bouillon in there. There you go. That's what it said to do. Mix that around. We're supposed to have our garlic in there as well, so I'm going to go ahead and hit that up with some garlic. Now that it's cooked quite a bit. You put in as much garlic as you want. I like garlic, so we're probably going to put in a little bit. But this is a good cheat for anybody that wants to cook things of that nature. You know, especially garlic can go bad if you don't store it properly, things of that nature. Is, you know, I have a little tiny mixer, which I think I've showed you guys. Let me just take the top off. This is it. You can get it at Walmart. It's a little mini processor. It's a Cuisinart. I think I paid $15 for that thing. I take an entire head of garlic, which is the whole thing, Peel all the pieces, put them in there. I have minced garlic in 2 seconds. I clean it out, put it in this, put it in some olive oil, stick it in the fridge. There you go. Bada bing, bada boom. You've got all the garlic you could ever want. Okay? All right, that's melted now, so we're going to put in a tablespoon of flour. We need to cook that a little bit. Turn this on because raw flour does not taste good. Okay, so don't do it. Makes things taste funky. All right, tablespoon of flour. I guess it also wants the white part of the onions in here. We'll do that. There we go. Okay. Again, the heat is not on here, so the only cooking it's getting is you know, the residual heat that's sitting there. Okay, it wants 2/3 of a cup of milk. That doesn't go to 2/3, so we're going to do that because I need this one. This is the reason it didn't ask us to shred the cheese, because the cheese is going in here to melt. Okay? Alrighty. We will need to turn the heat on now here in just a second. Hey, there we go. That's got a nice color on it. Can y'all see that? That's pretty. Okay. So we're going to turn that on about there. We're going to stir in the milk. And then what's going to happen is this is going to start thickening, and when it does, we're going to add the cheese, and then look, guess what you have? Macaroni and cheese. That's how easy macaroni and cheese is. You can make the real stuff at home. Alrighty. Okay, we've got the meat cooked. Everything's looking good. We're going to put the carrots back in, because that's what it said to do. Okay. This is looking like a fancy hamburger helper. That's kind of what this is reminding me of. All right, yeah, so we're going to make that. Let's see. Add the beef broth. Once everything is done. Okay, so we're going to add the beef broth to this because everything is done cooking. We're going to stir again. You got to mind this now. Bechamel is fairly forgiving. It doesn't really clump all that easily, so you should be fine. You don't have to sit and babysit it quite so much. I know it sounds fancy schmancy. It's not all that much. It's fairly forgiving. Okay. All right, so we got that cooking. We're going to cook that until it's cooked through 1 to 2 minutes. We're going to season that with some salt and some pepper. You do you. I'm not a big salt person. There's some pepper. Do our little thing here. All right. So our sauce is starting to get thick now. You guys can kind of see that. So now we're going to add the cheese. All right. And we're going to turn the heat off because we don't need that anymore. Oh, it's looking good, people. Looking good. Ooh, that's a nice thick cheese sauce. Y'all seeing that? Ooh, look how pretty that is. If I had some dry mustard, I would have put that in there just because it makes your macaroni and cheese taste really good. All right, I'm going to pull that off because I need to read this real quick. All right, so we're doing all the things. Okay, so they want us to broil. Nope, broil high. Yep. All right. That's as high as I'm going with that. All right, so what it wants me to do is it wants me to add the mac and cheese onto here. So we need to put the pasta in there. So pretty. And then it wants us to broil it for a couple of minutes. And that's going to be the end of this. I would say definitely maybe put this in a little bit of a smaller pan. Just because that's how this is kind of worked out. This might be a little big. I think they kind of want it to be a little bit closer. It's fine. It will work out. There's nothing wrong. No worries. But we're going to put the mac and cheese on top of that, and then we're going to broil this for just a minute or two. And then we'll put the remaining scallions on the top, and then that's going to be the end of it. So let's put that in there, and we'll put it in the oven, and then we'll put it on pause, okay? Because y'all don't need to watch all that. So we're just going to put that on the top. Okay. Don't worry about the extra liquid that's out from in there. It doesn't matter. It will be fine. All right. Now, I'm going to put this in the broiler. Cast iron handles get hot. Don't pick them up by your hands. And they're heavy. Ugh. All right. So we're going to put that in there and we're going to let it do its business. I'm going to turn that off and I'm going to start cleaning up while that's going on. So, hang tight. I'll be back in a minute. All right. We're going to pull this out. All right. That's about as brown as I want to get mine. Just because I don't want to dry the pasta out, and it was fairly, the pan was fairly large. So I'm going to portion this out, put it in the bowls, and then I'll let you see what that looks like, and we'll be done with this video. All right. So, whoops, let me go back down a little bit. So this is what we have. Down, 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 down. This is 2 servings. They're decent sized bowls. Okay, you can kind of see how big they are, right? So that is what 2 servings looks like. It looks pretty good. That's the steam coming off there, sorry. We wipe that off. Okay, there we go. Because that was steam coming off there, so bring that back up. It looks pretty good. It may not look like all that much, but again, these meals tend to be kind of deceiving on how filling they are. So, it smells good. We'll see what happens. I did give the prince a little bit more than I'm giving myself, but that's usually how it ends up going anyway. So, per usual, when we are done eating, I will do the end of the review and I'll let you know what we thought. This is the last meal that I have for that first Dinnerly box. Okay, so we finished dinner. Thumbs up for the taste. Both of us thought that it tasted really good. Again, we have yet to have had any meal that we've done with Dinnerly so far that didn't actually taste good. So no quorums there whatsoever. The food is definitely healthier. It's whole food. So again, you're not buying, like, I kind of compared this one to almost like a gourmet-ish type hamburger helper. Okay, that's kind of, and the prince agrees with me on that one. That being said, this was all whole food, meaning that it wasn't boxed, packaged, lots of preservatives, lots of crap in it. I mean, you had to make your own mac and cheese. It was made with butter and flour and milk and cheese, right? You know, and then there was beef and carrot, and you had to make all the components to it. So it's definitely a healthier way of eating, and it tasted really good. You guys kind of know where I'm going with this. Did we get full off of it? The prince is making himself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich as we speak. I didn't get full off of it. Neither one of us ate very much today. I can tell you exactly what we've had. I've had my coffee. I had a low-carb bowl, breakfast bowl from Hardee's. Y'all know what those look like. They're about yay big. That's what both of us have had today. That's all we've had today. Didn't eat that much. I mean, I'm not starving. I'm not overtly full, but I'm not full either. I can pretty much promise that even I'm going to have to get a snack later because I'll be hungry if I don't.
If they have
you
the
know,
normal American appetite, they'll start.
yeah, that's kind of what the Prince is saying in the background. You know, if you have
A normal
the normal
American-
standard appetite for nowadays, you know, you're going to starve to death. It's more than enough for one person, but it's not quite enough for two. Does that make sense? Right? Like, you would have leftovers, probably.
normal male American who eats too much, granted, would need one of these for himself and he'd probably be fine.
Yeah, okay. So, if you're a guy and you eat like a normal guy, it would be
Normal
enough for just
American
you.
guy.
Normal American guy. I'm going to say if you're a single girl, right, you're going to have enough for you and probably lunch the next day. Is this enough to feed two standard, normal, run-of-the-mill, average adults for the year 2019? Probably not. Some of the meals will, some of them won't. I did tell you that they were very deceptive on the size, where we thought, oh, this looks really small, and yet we got really full off of it. This one, I was like, it looks kind of whatever. I don't know. We'll see. It's been deceiving. Again, we are very heavy on carbs. I did pick the menu, but you only have 14 things that you can choose from. I tried to pick the things that had the most meat and the most vegetables out of what we would eat on what they had offered. We are a very low carb family, and we do that for several reasons. We're older. Carbs are not good for you. You know, they raise your blood sugar. They make you fat.
We don't like to weigh down the motorcycle.
Yeah, we don't want to weigh down the motorcycle. So we don't really eat that many carbs. Okay, so the style of eating for this just may not work out for us. I did get notification on my email earlier today that my box that is due tomorrow, guess what? Isn't going to be delivered tomorrow. Something that had to do with production, and now they say that it would be delivered Wednesday, which my fear means that if we go the way we're going, it means it's going to be sitting on my box all day Thursday, and we're going to end up with the same thing. So while I do like the meals and I think they taste really good, I think for a single person, this is fabulous, especially a single person that doesn't know how to cook and maybe wants to learn how to cook and not eat so much crap. Going out to eat all the time, or trying to get ready-made meals like, you know, hamburger helpers or things of that nature, because they're just really full of a lot of bad stuff, right? So this would be a really good alternative for someone like that, I guess, would be the easiest thing to say. Or if you have two very tiny millennials that don't eat very much, like this might work for you. But two normal adults, and I'd like to say we're fairly normal, although we do eat fairly low carb. We are more of a high protein house. We don't eat that much. When we do eat, we don't eat large portions either. We have a tendency to eat one, maybe two small meals a day. Two of these got us pretty full, which was the beef tostadas. Actually got both of us quite full. And the pork cutlets that we had last night, that actually got us fairly full. Although, that being said, I only ate half of my cutlet. The Prince ate the other half of mine, so he had 1.5 cutlets. I wasn't particularly hungry yesterday. I'd had some popcorn, well, yeah, but that was but again, he was saying the shrimp thing was very filling, but that was for 2 people and he ate it. Yeah, that's kind of the point we're getting at. So, you know, I'm not going to say that Dinnerly is a bad delivery service. It is the least expensive one on the market, so understand you're going to get what you pay for. Yes, I understand you can probably make meals for less than $4.50 per serving standard if you're a person that knows how to shop and knows how to cook and do all those things. We are paying for some convenience, okay? Understand that. Most of the boxes out there, the decent size boxes, and again, I haven't seen their portions, so I can't compare apples to apples. I'm going to go on assumption. But there are other boxes out there that are vegan friendly, keto friendly, where you can pick the types of meals that you want to have, and that's all they'll feed you are those things: Atkins style, keto style, vegan, low, no gluten, things of that nature. But they're also going to run you anywhere from $10 a plate to $15 a plate. So, you know, for $10 to $15 a plate, I can go out and eat, which again is not the best thing in the world for you to do, is to go out and eat all the time. It's not good for you. It's not good for your waistline. So the end of these meals and the end of this week, and again, we've got 2 more boxes that are coming no matter what, okay? Because I have freebies coming. So I have 2 more boxes that we will do regardless. So we'll give little bitty interviews on those, and we'll work through those as well. What I would say right now for us, I don't think that this is for us. I think it's unbalanced. We don't have near enough vegetables or protein, and it is way too heavy on the carbs, regardless of what I pick on the menu. So, but the food was good. Like, and if you don't mind eating carbs, have at it. You're gonna love this service if they show up on time. So we'll also let you know over the next 2 boxes. Well, we know the next one isn't coming on time. They've already told me it's not gonna be here. Does anybody want to do any bets on if it actually gets here Wednesday? Should we take a poll? Y'all want to leave your comments down below. Let me know if you think that it's actually going to show up on Wednesday, which is a day late that they said it was going to show up on, or do you think it's going to show up Thursday and sit out on my porch and bake all day like the last one? We'll see. All right, so I'm going to end this video because I'm going to have to go get a snack here shortly. I'm still a little hungry. You guys know the rules. Till I see you next time, stay safe, stay clean, have a perfect day. Bye.